I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Good gaming champions, and great to see you again back from GAMA 2025. Excited to bring to you our list of our 10 favorite things that we saw at GAMA 25. And first of all, I have to say, Deon, I'm happy you're alive, buddy.
Oh, man, it was close. I thought I was going to die on this one.
Like
I've still got a little frog in my throat, so...
Like we wanted to film this like a week ago, and when we just got back, and Shay and I reached out to D. We're like, hey, let's film, and he's like, at my deathbed.
This is one of the events as a retailer / media / consumer /
Lots of slashes.
Yeah, a lot of slash. Just
slashing.
Just slash.
Slashing the consumer
This is
out.
the roughest. This is the roughest event I've ever had to deal with. It was GAMA, and last year it was rough too. This year it seemed a little harder because we had you there, and I was trying to juggle that cap, and then also I brought my daughter for the first time, who helps me at the shop a lot. I thought that was a good move forward, and then I caught something, an influenza A, they say, and man.
We didn't just catch it. You caught it and then married it and welcomed it into your family.
Dude, I don't even think I've seen daylight until today.
We were also in Michigan, so that
that's
also,
it is nice.
It was beautiful.
Anyway, it took a while for me to even ging out of bed. So when you said, hey, let's do a list, I thought, I don't even remember going.
You were there.
Okay.
We have video of us hunting hallways.
Well, I do remember that is my favorite event at the event.
Well, I'll say as first time attendee of GAMA, as just kind of an intro to this, is I was kind of skeptical of what to expect from it. It is, for those of you who don't know, it's the retailer's opportunity to get time hands-on with the publisher's new stuff coming out for the upcoming year. This is not a consumer base. You're not walking away with tons of new copies of games in your portfolio. This is one where you get a chance to try demos in very brief status events and just get a little taste of what they are. So that way for stores predominantly, like you here at Voss Media, you have the chance to decide if it's something that you want to bring into your store to sell to your clients.
Well, it also surprises me a lot of the back door stuff going on, like the announcements. Not that kind of back swing. Wait, did I go to the right event again? Hold on. Let me see, what day is it? No. Like a lot of the backdoor deals, the back side door deals. Anyway,
just keep fighting through. Just keep fighting through. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this.
The side door deals that happens between the publishers and guys who really are indie developers that are trying to get some of their stuff seen and looked at by some of the bigger boys. That's pretty cool. Then you get to catch an eyeful of some of that as you're walking through the event, or you hear rumor-wise. A lot of things get dropped at the event that kind of sets the year up. Mm-hmm. One of the things is like Camp Grizzly, which is an older game. Trick or Treat Studios got the rights to re-release that game, which is crazy because it's some people's favorite game of all time, and to be able to re-release it and hopefully do it justice is going to be pretty awesome. And that got dropped at the event. So to find out things like that you normally, and what's really cool is I'm good friends with a lot of the people in the industry now as I'm going every year and meeting these guys and creating those relationships. And we know each other, which gives us a really cool ability to talk, about the side door stuff that, what can I say? What can I say? Those types of things. And that I would say is probably the best about GAMA.
Yeah, because it was hard as a media content creator there, because you would go up to the demo desks and you would just kind of assume you could film because it's like, you're letting me play this, and they'd be like, whoa, and it's like, delete, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that, but I will say it was kind of enjoyable to get time with publishers so they could get to know us. Obviously for you in the retail side, but here at Champions Tabletop, get a chance to make sure that they knew who we were. A few of them knew who we were, which is exciting because I know we're a smaller channel, but to get that recognition. And we were able to, as you see this little guy here, next week we'll be filming our Golden Meeple Awards. And so we were able to get some surprises for our award show coming up, which was really awesome. And I think, honestly, one of the things that I was most excited about with GAMA was how excited people were for some of our award winners that were announced at the event, how excited they were to get their Golden Meeple. It made my day.
Yeah, people seem very excited about being part of it. And I think even when we explained what we were trying to do with bringing a award show feel to the industry, they seemed very excited about that idea. Because every other major industry, like video game industry, has an award show type of schematic. They don't in the board game. So I think for us to be like, hey, we want to be that guy, they were very welcome and opening on it, which is really nice. But going through everything, what would you say? I know you've got a full list there, but what would you say was some of your favorite things that you've seen at the event that we need to keep our eyes peeled for either this year or coming early next?
Yeah, so that's a great segue into our top 10 list of things that we were excited about. So Deon and I both have a list of 10 here. This list is not like a number 10 is the worst, and number 10 is or number 1's the most exciting.
No.
This is just literally 10 things that we're like, I really enjoyed that. I'm really excited about this, and we're just going to kind of share them with you. I'm not going to get to because I do have a number 1 overall, but I'll say like number 10, I'm just going to kind of throw out there TCGs. ICV2 is a great website if you want to get industry information on sales and data and stuff, which I love. And, it is no surprise that TCGs are the biggest part of the hobby space.
Yep.
Unequivocally, more than double the sales of board games, quintuple the sales of tabletop
And there was
RPGs.
a lot of TCGs there.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I'm just going to kind of, I listed one on my list, and I was going to say Warlords for number 10. That's an old TCG from early 2000s that's coming back. God, it feels weird saying that, like an old game from early 2000s.
That's because you're old as shit.
God, kid show. But yeah, so what I would say, Warlords is coming back. Met the guys who are bringing it back. They're working heavily with Team Covenant out in Oklahoma. That's where they're from. Warlords was a phenomenal, unique type of card game where you kind of stack your guys in 3 lines. Your warlord, you're trying to protect, you're trying to kill the other person's warlord. But what's really unique about that game is the community around the game, because there are people in the nation that get these special titles. I forget the names of them right off the top of my head, but we'll call them like Dragon Master. That's a tier 1. So if you win a tournament, you get a ticket to fight a Dragon Master. And a Dragon Master could be a store owner. They have a special deck, and you get to fight that person with your ticket.
I remember that.
To try to beat them. Because if you do, you get a special card, and you get a ticket to fight the next tier, and it goes all the way up to the 3rd tier, which is Medusas. And they're usually like major events or Gen Con, stuff like that. And if you get a chance to get all the way to a Medusa, it's almost like an impossible to beat deck. But if you do, you actually get written into the lore of the game. So there's communities that get built around how to try to figure out how to beat these things. And if a Medusa card gets beat, it never gets printed again. And they send the person a whole new card and a whole new deck to build around it. So it's a really cool, unique thing. But it's not just Warlords, it's Gundam. Gundam was probably, I would say, the biggest thing that was there in terms of hype. Like every demo,
of hype, absolutely.
Yeah, every demo, the meetings that we went to with Bandai was completely packed, which they never even talked about it.
Yeah.
But it was completely packed, everybody thinking they were going to talk about it. And I will say, getting my hands on the game, it's a very clean game. It's a very pretty game. The designs are very clean. I think having the little miniatures on your table is going to add a nice presence. The game is not complex. I think if you like One Piece, I think if you like the Universal, what is it called? Union Arena. Thanks, Shay. I think it's a Bandai game. It's going to fit right in with those. But I think it's going to hit. But, I mean, Cookie TCG was a huge one there.
I'm going to be honest. There were so many TCGs. Every time I walked around,
Hololive TCG.
I like threw up a little in my mouth.
Yeah.
Every time everybody was like, oh, yeah, I was like, bleh.
Yeah.
Another
TCG.
TCG. Like, bleh, another TCG. Or, oh, another little stupid little card game. Oh, another dumb little card game.
Yeah.
Oh, another dumb little card game. And everybody was just pressing this silliness card game and TCGs.
Which is funny because my number 1 that I have is actually TCG. That's the irony of this.
And And there was a few. There was one I would say that stood out to me, and I won't jump to yours because I know it's your number one. But there was one that stood out to me that I was like, unique enough, you got my interest. I want to go back to board games. So I'm going to skip whatever you're going to say and go straight into a couple games that I was excited about, and I'm just going to kind of rattle off here. Above and Below Haunted. I thought that was kind of unique and different.
Yeah.
It's not out yet. I think they're doing a Kickstarter, but I got to take a look at it. It looked really cute. The cards. Red Raven Games really care about their games, and they do put a little bit of heart and effort into it. I'm not saying other people don't, but they do definitely. And the owner there is just a great people, great people. And I got to look it through it, and I was like, this is pretty cool. And so I'm excited about that one.
Well, because I had a chance to try it. Was it Caravan?
Caravans? Yeah, I think Caravans. I think I got one here. Creature Caravan.
Creature Caravan.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
fun.
another one that one just came out. So that one's an out one now. But I found a lot like of these not so popular games like Edge Quest or Dino Day. Well, Edge Quest, I could probably say. Edge Quest is a sword fighting little game.
You're number 9. You're jumping right. Number 9.
I'm just kind of naming them off because if we sit here and go back and forth the way you're going, we won't be done tonight. And I would like to be able to go back.
Let's have a structure. So number 9, you're going to say is Edge Quest.
They're guys that are down here closer in Lansing. They said they live near Lansing or they demo it. They'd be able to come into the shop and demo it. It was unique. I know they're trying to get an IP that they couldn't really talk about. Obviously, it's Star Wars IP because it's how cool it was. But you're playing cards and you're moving these little figures, and they have like a stab and a parry and you could play like a 2v2 or a 3v3 in this big arena. And the box was pretty reasonable for what it was. It wasn't crazy expensive to get a set and play 1v1. And it was pretty neat. It was called Edge Quest. I thought it was pretty cool. You'll see it they'll be doing a big push at Gen Con. And I think when people see it, they're going to be like, this is pretty cool.
It definitely is unique. You've not seen something like that
No, and
before.
that's kind of what I was looking for going through GAMA is I'm so sick of the Ben Done a billion time thing. And that's why I was looking for something that you normally couldn't find.
Yeah.
And I think Edge Quest was definitely one of them. And then the Above Below Haunted, I think, was a good one as well.
So my number 9 is going to be T-Witches, which we did bring up in our hype video. We had a chance to actually, it's kind of funny. We had a chance to sit down with Manny Vega, who is the designer of T-Witches and also the designer of Flamecraft, which we learned.
Yeah.
We had a fun interaction with Deon because there's, I forget the woman's name, who helped design the art. But Manny was actually the one who did Flamecraft. And so T-Witches is his new game coming out from the Op Games. And the easiest way to put it is if you enjoy Flamecraft, I think it's just maybe a notch above in terms of complexity.
Oh, I agree. I think it's a little harder than Flamecraft was because you're trying to fulfill orders from the different teas that you had and different covenants you had to go around and collect from. And you had like a little inventory thing. It was different.
Yeah. And it had a really nice table presence because it has that kind of pastel color that you like from Flamecraft. The art is very family friendly. So if you have especially, like teenagers, I think it'd be a huge hit with a lot of teenagers.
If Flamecraft does well at your table, this is going to do gangbusters as well.
Exactly.
So I mean, and even the people that are kind of like, I like Flamecraft, but it's a little too simple. This is a little step further in the right direction. So the art's cutesy. You can keep your friends and family entertained with just the art alone. It was pretty good. I liked that one a lot.
What about your number 8?
My number 8 is going to be a weird card game that I found, and I kind of stayed away from a lot of
brought a
card
card
games.
game in. I love it.
I did. It was called Dino Days, but it was. They also had like Dog Days and Cat Days. This is UK developer. And I'm not, if I try to remember his name, I'll slaughter it. So I apologize, but a great dude, great company. And the guy was there and I just played it. It's dumb. You set out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever, Monday through Sunday, right? You set out in front of you and you're just playing card. You either play a card or you draw a card. It's how simple it is. But all the cards have something cool on it. So you can only play on a Tuesday if you already have a dog on a Wednesday, or you can cover up somebody else's Wednesday. And what you're trying to do is just fill up your week and then have the most points at the end of that week. And you could draw as many cards as you draw a card and wait and draw a card and wait, and play as what's best for you. but it was kind of a little bit of a take that game. And what's cool is that you can get multiple decks. And for $10 for a card game, to me, it was like hey, we're all waiting for everybody else to show up before we can start this card game. So let's play this game while we're waiting on them. So it was that kind of a cool little fun, hey, let me show you this silly little game. Dino Days was definitely more of a take that. And so that's the one I grabbed and brought home with me because he gave it to me. So I was like, heck yeah, I'll take it.
It seems like Animal Card Games was big at the convention this year because Pegasus
card
Spiel,
games.
you see all the stuff Pegasus Spiel had. They had like 5 new games coming, like Fox and llamas and all of these animal-based card
Bunch
games.
of little stuff.
My number 8 is going to be Chronicles of Drungar, which was made by CGS.
Oh, wow.
So this is not necessarily a new game. You've definitely seen it. It is a dungeon crawler. I'd say it's kind of a medium weight dungeon crawler. You pick a character, beautiful miniatures, beautiful table presence, and I've got some great B-roll that we'll put on this video. But the thing that they're coming out with that I thought was unique was the fact that they were coming out with these new chapters. And they really attacked you, Deon, to try to get into your store because what they're trying to do is take the complexities that come with these big campaign games that sometimes it's hard to get through them because if you don't have all 4 people every time and you've got pause structures in a lot of these games, which is great, but it's hard to get through the Oathsworns of the world. It's hard to get through the ISS Vanguards and the Frost Havens. And so what they said was, look, we're going to really condense this down and kind of almost do one-shot bites. So they're going to come out with, I think they said monthly boxes, and they want this in game stores like yours. So somebody can have a game night of Chronicles. People show up. It doesn't matter who shows up this week because it's not going to carry over into the next time. And it's like a one-shot dungeon crawl, and it's a small bite. Gives you a lot of nuances within the game. It simplifies rules a little bit of the game, so that way it's easier to teach to get a new player up and running. So I thought that they did a really good job of trying to address a big problem you have with big, complex campaign games of, hey, now a board game store, hey, run an event every month with us, and every month it's going to be a new adventure. So for the people who want to show up, it's there. For new people, it's not too hard to jump in, and you're not missing something because you didn't play the last 3 months.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. The fact that it was like an episodic, ongoing thing is something unique and different. And the fact that they wanted to support that in a community based, which like we like to build here, they're perfect.
They hounded you.
That
was like a 30-minute conversation. I almost recorded it from a distance.
We were perfect together because what we try to do here at Voss Media is create those communities. And what they're trying to do is build a community. So it's perfect for what we were just perfect together.
It was funny. I was talking to them, and I had kind of mentioned to Deon that he should come see it. So he walks over, and I'm like, "Hey, have you met my friend Deon?" And I just took off, and then Deon's just like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
you got something worked out though.
We did. So we got one in the back. We're gonna have to check it out. Maybe even open it up on the channel here. Maybe play through a little bit of it and
gorgeous
show a little
miniatures.
bit. Beautiful.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is Ham Helsing. I thought that was kind of a Ham. Did you see that?
Pig Vampire Slayers?
It is actually, it actually is really cool. It was super cute. It kind of looked a little kiddie, but I kind of enjoyed it. It almost was like...
You turn soft on me, big guy?
No, I'm definitely not.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
I kind of enjoyed it. It was something, I said, different. Something unique. That's what I was looking for. And it had a nice storyline. It's something that it's almost like if you could play in Horrified. It was almost like very much felt like Horrified, except you can upgrade your character. You can't do that in Horrified. You can upgrade your character, and it felt like I didn't ever want the story to end. So it was like a continuation of Horrified over and over. It was a really good mixture of a couple good games that are already out that played very well together. That felt nice. So it's called Ham Helsing. I think they're going to be going crazy around Gen Con, but it's definitely one that was on my list of something I enjoyed.
Good. My number 7, I think we can call them friends of the channel.
What's
Trick or Treat Studios. They're friends of the channel. Oh, best friends?
We are best friends
Best
forever.
friends forever?
BFFs.
Yeah. Best friends forever.
Voss Media. I don't know if they like the channel, but
They
really
love
like me.
the channel. I mean, it's probably really started with the channel, and they're like, they tolerate you.
They love me. I think they deal with you because you're my friend.
House of
that was a good
Corpses.
one. I liked that one. That was a good one.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
so
that was a good one.
we go from Pig Vampire Slayers to House of a Thousand Corpses. Here's what I think is really cool about this game is Rob Zombie signed off on this.
Yeah.
And so when you can get an IP by a guy like that
Did
for
Joe
a
tell you the
horror
story?
game, not the whole story. No.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll share this, but please share this story. But what was really cool that I loved was one of the stipulations that Rob said. Is this what you were going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the stipulations that Rob said for him to give permission for Trick or Treat Studios to get the IP of this was, you don't get to play the good guys. You must play the killers. Otherwise, you cannot have it.
Yes.
And they said, gotcha. We're good. Ya betcha. So long story short, in this game, you get to play the killers. You get to set the house up. You get to set the traps. And your whole goal is to murder.
Together. We got to work together.
Yeah. We get to murder as friends.
Murders as friends,
Yeah.
as that family. I can't remember the name of the family.
Those who
in the
kill
movie,
together
but
stay
yes.
together in jail. But, you know.
Is that how that works?
That's how it usually
the
works.
first copper? No.
Usually works. Depends on how big of a celebrity you are. But yeah, so it just comes down to it's a really unique concept. I love
I
when
liked
you
it
kind
too.
of turn things on their side. You know, kind of Death by Daylight is a good example where you get to play as a killer against other people. I love that kind of mechanic. But this one is just nope. We're all the bad guys, and if good people live, then we have failed doing our job. And I'm really excited to get my hands on that
There
one.
is nothing better than yelling at the person next to you. Why didn't you kill them? You had one
Said
job.
murder him,
You had
George.
one job to murder that person, and you failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to get mad at your friend for not killing somebody.
Mine's
Where
another
else do you get to say that?
Mine's another silly card game.
Number 7?
Number 7's. Is that where we're at?
Number
7,
6.
I give up.
It's number 6.
Okay,
You're
I'm
number
glad
6.
you numbered.
Yeah.
Mine's another silly card game. It's called Viking Raiders.
Ooh, I think
Yeah.
you talked about this one.
They're from Denmark.
Makes sense.
A couple's from
Make more
Denmark.
sense if they were Norway, but yeah.
They were a pretty cool little couple that I met. I think I liked them more than I liked the game. But the game was still really fun. You could sit around with 4 people, and what you're trying to do is raid certain areas, and then you're bringing the points back. And again, silly little card game, but it was something that was a good time filler for what the price sticker of, I think, of like $15 was. It's one that I'm thinking about putting in the shop because I enjoyed playing it enough. I got a copy in the back. I got to get a demo out and see what my community thinks of it. But I'm very excited to get this one played more, called Viking Raiders. Yeah.
My number 6 is for the people who like games like Garden Gnome, who like games like Coffee Rush, who like games like Wingspan. It's called Pergola by Rebel Studios, being put out by Asmodee. Had a chance to do a special behind-the-scenes playthrough with this one, and board presence was really pretty. Basically, it's a little bit of a worker placement. You have a garden in front of you, and what you need to do is you take a shovel and you have a little garden plant that you put your shovel in to show you what pieces you get to take. And then what you're going to do is try to collect flowers, collect ladybugs and butterflies to pollinate, collect bees to pollinate or create honey. And you get to kind of make your board as you're putting all your pieces on. So it gives you a lot of free range to kind of design your garden as you want. There's no, well, this flower's got to go here and this has got to go here. So there's a lot of freedom to kind of make your board very unique from your players. It's a little bit of a Euro style because, again, it's going to be at the end of the day who gets the most plants based on combinations of, plants with the proper bugs on them. But it's a nice medium weight complexity. We learned it in like 10 minutes for the playthrough that Asmodee gave us. And like I said, aesthetically, I think for those people who like that kind of light flowing, like I said, Wingspan kind of feel, I think Pergola is going to really scratch that itch. And if you love to garden, you got a green thumb, it's definitely should be one on your list.
I found one in the walking area. There's very far back. They port these poor people all the way in the very far back. And it was Party Tales is the name of the game.
Is this your number 5?
Yeah, we're moving on, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm at 4.
You're
Anyway,
at
5. Give it one and take. Anyway, it was called Party Tales. Was the name of the people that did it. It was him and his buddy, and the name of the game was called Time Lancers.
Yep.
It was a pretty neat little game that I was like, ooh, I'd like to have a copy of this. And the guy was like, come back at the end of the event. You can have this one. And I'm like, done. So I've got a demo. I'm excited to play that one, but it's one that is going to get probably more hype within the next year.
Yeah.
that looks pretty neat. It had a cool little card game with it.
We got it right here.
I know. That's what made me remind me of it when I looked over there at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that looks really cool.
So happens when your legs work.
Well, I'm dead. So you assign things here on the bottom. It looks pretty neat. But you've got it. Well, you have like time score, and you're going
Hexagons that you use.
hexagons that you're going back in time, and you're adjusting. It's a lot of card play. That you're flipping cards upside down one way or the other.
But you
It
can
looks
actually
really
go
good.
back and manipulate things to change how
Yeah.
the other. There's a lot of give and take, because some certain things that you do will affect previous rounds that you had scored on, because you effectively have gone back in time. And
Well, I think they had a
messed with it.
Kickstarter and it was successful, and so now they're trying to see it into retail. And I wish them the best of luck. Great bunch of dudes.
They were YouTubers for a
Party
while.
Tales. Awesome game. I can't wait to get it fully played. So that was on my list as well.
Perfect. My number 5 is going to be from Upper Deck, who has 2 of my 5 favorites, Deon, which I never would have thought talking about board games, Upper Deck would be in my list. But number 5 is going to be Game of Thrones Legendary. So for those of you who like the Legendary series, Marvel, Matrix, there's been a few. I'm blanking right now on the others, but Game of Thrones is going to come out. It's very, very much built around co-op. A lot of the others you can play co-op, but this one is being built as a co-op. So again, you're going to play as the different houses, trying to, of course, go defend the Night Watch and go after the White Walkers, and of course defend the North to death. And the aesthetics of it, the art on the cards look absolutely fantastic. Of course, Upper Deck knows cards, right? They're really good at overprinting cards too. For those 90s fans of Upper Deck, you know who I'm talking about, Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards.
That hurts a little.
It hurts a lot. I had a lot of them. But long story short is the game is going to fit within the Legendary series. So if you've played one, you're going to understand the basic mechanics, card draw, deck builder. But again, I think these are the types of games where if a theme connects with you, it's always going to have a leg up. This one connects with me quite a bit. But also I like the fact of co-op, having somebody dedicated to play with you. I always enjoy that element. What's your number 4, Deon?
I played this game the demo nights. They had this out, and there's a company that really kind of have undershot here at the studio, here at the cafe, but also have undershot really us on this channel, which was Thunderworks Games. Mm-hmm. They
Shout
made
out to Jess at Thunderworks.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's a cheerleader for that company.
Oh my God, give her a raise. They've made some really good games like Role Player and Cartographer, Role Player Adventures. They've done a very good job of staying in this realm of fun games. But one of the games that they were showing, and I thought, well, I'll sit down and play, although it looks dumb, is a game called Emerald Skulls. And I played it, and I go, I really enjoy this.
Yeah.
It's you're rolling dice, bones. They like to call it bones, so rolling bones, and you're assigning them on different levels of this skull, and you can never go down. You can only go up, and you decide when to quit or how much to push your luck. And
So you have a chin, you have a mouth, you have a nose, eyes, and the skull
and
at the
there's
top.
like special abilities based on the game that you're playing that you're trying to get 5 teeth and you get a bonus or whatever it is, right?
So everybody gambles while you're
Yeah,
rolling
and while
dice.
you're rolling the dice, everybody at the table is gambling against you or for you because they're trying to see if they're going to, whatever they think you're going to pull off.
So it's almost like if you gambled during Yahtzee kind of thing. in a
Yeah,
way.
it's almost like I think he's going to make it. I'm going to go ahead and put, my money on Yahtzee or whatever. And if you make it, hey, I get a bonus. If you miss, I'd lose my money, whatever. Or I lose my little betting chip at that point.
Yeah.
It was kind of unique and different. I thought the pieces of the upgraded version was really cool. It was almost like Ready, Set, Bet of this year. Like that's how much we were laughing and joking and probably the loudest in the building where we're like, oh, this is great,
Yeah.
And it was
And
it
we
was
were-
okay. I enjoyed it.
Because you can also screw your friends over too,
Yes.
depending on like taking a knee earlier with your turn. So if somebody has a bet and you're like, ooh, they could get a lot of points if I go ahead with this, you can kind of take a knee on it and say, I'm going to be done with my turn and really screw them over.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of jostling, and I know we played together with Jess and another guy, and yeah, we were having
I really
a blast.
enjoyed it. I thought I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, great beer and pretzel game. My number 4 is going to be from DeVere Games, one of our favorite companies out there. It's going to be Red Carpet. And this was a unique game. Again, that's what I liked, was something unique. And this
Said
one's
that a lot. I think that's a key word for tonight. Is the unique.
unique, yeah.
Is that it? That's a key word.
Well, because when you have 3,000 new games coming out every year, it's hard to be unique anymore.
Unique, right? Well, I guess.
So this one is going to be celebrities that basically move down the red carpet, and you're going to use card draw to change their position because you are the paparazzi. You're trying to get the best picture, and based on their positioning and when you capture the picture, you're going to accumulate points. I had a great interview with the designer of the game, so I'll insert that and let him tell a better story of it in a different video. But basically, aesthetically, it's a really cool setup. You've got the miniatures lined up. It's got a cool red carpet looking style to it, almost like a Hollywood new movie event. And the cards look really nice. So I'm really curious to see how it plays. I didn't get a chance to play it. I just kind of the designer, he walked me through how it will work. And it, again, just caught my eye. In table presence, if you have it out, I think it's going to catch the eye of a lot of people. All right, Deon, what is your number 3?
Well, I'm going to kind of bounce here a bit. So number 3, so as I'm throwing up in my mouth, walking around and listening to every TCG that's going, TCG, good. I was like, blah, blah, TCG, blah, TCG, blah.
Well, I was like, TCG, yes.
Yeah, please. You were like, what, sit down, let me
promo?
I was just like, stop. God.
And I
felt like I was beating them off with a stick as I'm walking through, like, no, down, and then, down. Because they're like, bah, 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 and I'm like, no, nobody wants to play your
and then I would coddle them,
crappy TCG,
nurse them back to health, and say it's okay.
And I walked across this one from Upper Deck, and I was like, tell me more, Upper Deck. And they said, oh, this is cool. You've got these cards, and they're pantheons, and it's 3v3, and I'm like, oh, 3v3, and they're like, yeah, you, 2 other friends go against two other people. Really? And they're like, yeah, you can play 2v2 and 1v1, but it's made for 3v3. I'm like, okay. And they're like, oh, and you get these cards that can slide into other cards on top of them, which changes the abilities of those cards. And those cards come in packs and stuff too. And I'm thinking, okay, how many of those can you have in your deck? It's like, well, certain cards can only take them, but you can fill up as much as you want. And it kind of slides in at the top. And I'm like, okay, I'm digging everything I'm liking. And I'm like, well, let me start seeing some art. So I'm looking at the art and I'm going, okay, this is nice. It's called Rush of Ichor, right? I really enjoyed it. I met the guy who is designing it. Bobby was a great dude.
Great guy.
He's open about, hey, I like that. I don't like this. And very open with like, hey, I appreciate your feedback because
I'm pretty sure we became best friends.
I don't think
the
we
two
became
of us
best
with
friends. Him. But he did give us a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the game. I thought it's something different of a TCG that you're going 3v3, and so you have to design. You can either play in front of you, and then that card can either affect the guy across from you, which you're attacking, or if you can play a support card, you can assist the guy to the left of you. And if you're in the middle, you got the guy to the left and the right you can assist. Really created this synergy of like, we all go together, and then I'm like, okay, do I play this now? No, you should play that first, and then I'll play this. And then we'll do that. And then, that's what we'll do. So bam, I'm going to give you this and then move over here and attack that. And we're kind of all going at the same time, but we're also supporting each other. It was really weird and different. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was different enough that if I was going to open my wallet for a TCG, they might have me. I'm going to hold my final review until I get some, because I really enjoyed the demos that we played. But until they said they were going to send us a beta test kit, which I'm really excited about that. And I want to play this beta test because it was surprisingly interesting enough to where I would show up to an event. I would hit you up, hit Shay up and go, hey guys, we're going to run Rush of Ichor tonight at, whatever. Let's all go play and have fun, 3v3. And let's see if 3 people can wipe us out. Mm-hmm. Right. And I think that would be fun enough to where it's almost like a group battle thing. Team sport type of thing, which I dug that. Mm-hmm. There's not enough of that, I think.
Yeah. My number 3, we don't need to spend a lot of time on, but it is Emerald Skulls. That was my number 3 coming into this. And again, huge shout out to Thunderworks, Jess over there. I met her at Origins last year, and she was just a firecracker. So just wonderful to work with. And Emerald Skulls, to me, I saw it, and I agree with you, Deon. Like, aesthetically, it's okay. Like, it's not gonna blow you away when you see it. It doesn't have a big table presence, but it's one of those that if you sit down and you take me, I'd say it's maybe a 10-minute learn, because there's a lot of betting that really
understood how it pops
that
off.
really drives the game, because there are some complex bets that you can do that win you a lot of money. So if you don't understand it, it's hard to really maximize it. And there's a lot of strategy with, do I keep rolling? Because when you roll your dice, you get numbers, and based on those numbers is what part of the skull you can put it on. And so you have to be very strategic of how you're doing it based on what you want to score and based on what the people around are betting on.
Yeah.
So again, part of your strategy is, if I do this too well, Deon over there bet on me really hitting a home run, I might give him a ton of coins. And if I do that, he's going to beat me. So I think there is a good amount of strategy to the game in terms of not just for yourself, but being aware of what other people are doing. And that, I think, is what really drew me in.
Yeah, I
to the
think
game.
the best part is when you get to bet on somebody completely failing, and then they do, and then you laugh in their success of them failing.
Yeah. Their misery is your gain.
Their misery is your gain, I think, was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I think walking away from it, that was one. And it's a low-cost game, so it's going to be easy to get to the table at an affordable price. And
It's the Ready, Set, Better this year for me.
Yep, absolutely. What's your number 2?
I'm tossed and turned here, so I'm going to go with Bantam West. It was probably number 1, but I'm going to make it number 2. This game, Bantam West, is already released as a Kickstarter. It's successfully kickstarted. Now they're trying to figure out a way to make this world kind of like Westworld. You know, like they have different genres in this same universe type of thing. Very similar, except this one takes place in the West world, obviously, a Bantam West, and you're a character that you choose, and you're upgrading your characters, you're going on different things, but it's an open world. You do whatever you want to do, which I enjoyed. The pieces, and I think really stood out to me. I think it's the deluxeification of the game really made me go, ooh, I like this. But you're building your character, you're kind of going around. It's almost like there was a Western game that came out a while back, and I'm trying to think of the name of it.
Western Legends?
Yes, Western Legends. It's very similar to that, except it was way more in depth, right? And you got to be this character instead of, Wyatt Earp or whatever. You got to be this character that you're creating here, and you're upgrading. So in that one, you didn't really get to upgrade your character. It's like, these are your stats, go for it. And this one, it definitely lets you upgrade your stats a little bit. So if you like Western Legends, which I did, I think you'll love this one, and it's upcoming. I expect to see them go heavy on Gen Con. They're actually based out of Chicago, and they want to do a Western-themed night here, which I can't wait to do. So,
So my number 2 is a little bit of a tie, so I'm just going to give a very brief description of both. 12 Rivers by Good Games. I would say this game aesthetically took the show. I don't think aesthetically there was a better looking game at the show.
Really?
The artwork was beautiful. The colors that they used is beautiful. It is an existing game that's coming from China that Good Games is going to be licensing here in the West. But it's a very simple game. It's a resource management game. And what you do is you have these marbles at the top of what looks like a mountain that runs down a hill. And what you're trying to do is kind of manipulate where the marbles can run down the mountain. You can close the paths off. You can open the paths, and you're trying to get them to kind of end up in specific pools at the end of the mountain. And based on where they end up, you're going to collect the points or resources based on that. So it's the game itself, I didn't get a chance to play it, but it caught my eye in such a way that I felt like I really wanted to give it a really good recognition, because we got great video too and a good walkthrough that you'll see on our channel from Good Games. The other one that I really wanted to make sure was highlighted as well for this, it's Spiritfire by Orge Nebula. I finally, so it was on our list of games we were most excited about for 2025. It was my number 1. And I actually got my hands on it. Like, I got to see it. I got to touch it. It's a real game. It's a beautiful game.
Oh, the cards were done.
The cards were amazing. The art was amazing. Their setup was amazing. The woman that ran it was amazing. So literally, I walked away so excited, because I literally told her, I was like, it's real. And she's like, yeah, it's coming soon. And I'm like, I know. I got the purple deck. So I'm super excited about that, and it looks really exciting. I'm super pumped to get my hands on it and get a chance to play it because it's so unique for what they're trying to do. And she kind of laughed at that. She said, that was kind of our goal, was less is more. The less information you have, the better off it is. So to see it in person, my number one most anticipated game for the year, it was pretty exciting. So what's the top of your list here, buddy boy?
I have to go with a game that I found on night one, and the guy kept carrying it around everywhere. He was kind of looking for a publisher, I believe, to launch it for him. And it's going to be a good game. It's called Dracula's Curse. It was an asymmetric dungeon builder where it starts off as a 1v all that could end up being a 1v1v1v2. Or because the game changes, and as you are working your way through this dungeon to get to the Dracula's chambers to kill him, he's setting traps and he's doing things to kind of interrupt you. And if he can kill you, you then come back as a vampire. And then your vampire card that you pull really affects you during the rest of the game, and nobody knows what it is. You can continue to help your allies. You can now become part helping Dracula. You can have your own you need to make sure everybody but one person in your party dies before everybody's a vampire but one, There's different rules and things that change. Very Nemesis-y feel to it, which was kind of cool, except it was a 1v all, so someone got to play the alien, And I kind of thought it was well done. Pieces were nice, and it was unique enough, and unique is the word today, definitely. It was unique enough to make me go, hey, I'm excited about this. I expect, again, to see a lot more hype around Gen Con, but there's a lot of games that they were like, we're going to go nuts at Gen Con. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you will. It's just not my cup of tea, but this is definitely my cup of tea.
You really seem to have a thing for vampires because you also love Vampire Masquerade, which is a unique digital game.
No, I didn't. I liked the idea behind that one. I don't really got a thing with vampires. I think that the idea. I was saying because you like pig vampires and. Oh, that was just because it was cute. Van Hamslinger.
Yeah.
Van Hamslinger. Yeah.
Van Hel.
Ham. Yep.
Yeah.
That thing.
Thing. The pig. Just the pig vampire killer.
Pig vampire killer.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really have a thing about. I don't know.
I know you don't. That's why I think it's funny that. Well, you took the rush away from my number one, which was unequivocally my number one was Rush of Icor as well.
Really? You enjoyed it that much?
I did love it that much. Again, I'm more prone to TCGs. I'm always going to like them more than you, Deon.
Well, at least I picked the best one.
You did pick the best one because it's unique. Like Deon said, the fact that it's built around the idea of 2v2, 3v3, the fact that it brings elements of games that you like. I love the fact you're pulling the Icors with like Keyforge is a good example I can bring with that. You're harvesting the Icors. I love the art. I love the fact that they're using real mythology within the Greeks and the Egyptians and the Japanese.
Even touched to the Norse, or there's so many that they have not even touched yet.
The guy who made it, Bobby, my boy Bobby.
Best friend Bobby.
Great guy, very humble guy, wants to really make it successful. And like I said, it's the one that as I got back, I've told the most people about. We got promo cards. I've shown everybody, and everybody seems to have a really positive impression when they get to see it for the first time. But like I said, I just think, at least where I'm at in life, I love the idea of trying to play things with people.
Yeah.
Instead of against people all the time. And that's partly who's around me. Like my wife doesn't like to play against me. But this is the kind of game that we can play together against other people. And then I can blame her if we don't win. And
she was not playing with you at all.
And like I said, same thing with my son. So I think the fact that we can coordinate I'm saying in terms of playing with him.
Oh, blaming him for the
throw
loss.
him under the bus here, dude.
Wow. Get better, kid.
Well, I got to touch the flame to get burnt every now and then. But no, I would just say it just a beautiful game. I love the fact that you can put the inserts into the cards to upgrade them. And like I said, at the end of the day, just playing with friends, making decisions together simultaneously to help your team. I just think that's huge. It's going to add such a fun element. And it's built for that. That's the big thing. It's not a card game that says, hey, we're going to create a new style like Commander, and this is how it's... No. This game is being built with this in mind. And I think that's why it's going to be different. So that was my number one, easily. Upper Deck. Who knew?
Well, every game I mentioned, you can find on BGG. There's not one that you can't find there because it was either pre-released. There wasn't a ton of like, oh, you'll never see this anywhere, and this is the only place you've ever seen it.
Right.
So it was a lot of like, oh, this released, you know, we did a good Kickstarter last year. A bunch of people bought it that liked it, but there's also a bunch of people that didn't even get a chance to play this yet. And we really want to bring it to them.
Right.
There's a lot of that. So I think this year will definitely be the year of, oh, you missed this, check this. So,
Yeah.
which was a lot of misses because there's just so much that comes out. So
Right. Yeah. And I think that is, as a consumer out there, I think the big thing for you is focus this year on quality instead of quantity of games, because there are I mean, this is the hard part of it, Deon, is everybody, and I was talking to one of the publishers about what pressure. It's like you hit a home run, and the second you hit a home run, it's like, okay, well, what's next? And it's like, at what point can you just say, man, like I made a great game and look at it sell and let that be it for a bit? Not in this world, man. It's
What
we
have you
have
done
this.
for me
Okay,
lately?
well now we've got this in 25. We got this in 26. We got this in 27. I mean that's a hamster wheel that I feel bad for these professionals in this industry for, because it's not like the old days where Monopoly still sells 50 million copies or Candyland is still the number one selling board game in the West. I mean, it just isn't like that for the average board game anymore.
Well, I mean, what the cool thing is, as well as they're going through BGG and looking up any of the things that we mentioned, or you're scanning through, we will be releasing videos of our conversations that we've had with people in the booths, and so you could check it out on our TikTok, and then also videos of just us going through a lot of these games that we're talking about, and even some that we didn't mention that we might have not made our top 10, but maybe could make yours. And just keep an eye out, because we want to push this through. GAMA is, I consider that like the start of the year. That's really like, hey, look at this cool stuff that's coming this year. And then refresh, you know, and all these events that's coming up, Gen Con and Origins are all great events. They're just not, I don't think they're GAMA. I think GAMA gives a different view and a different look. And I think if we as champions of tabletop focus a little more in places that people aren't, which is GAMA, I think it really gives you, the consumer, a chance to take a look at this and view the industry a little bit different.
So with that, I think that kind of gives us a really good wrap up. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and as Deon said, we're going to have a lot of interviews on TikTok, so definitely go to TikTok, Champions of Tabletop. You're going to see stuff on YouTube Shorts if I can figure out how to edit these videos down to 90 seconds. But we'll definitely get those things out.
That's
and,
legit.
you know, as we really get into 2025, I think, you know, from myself and maybe Deon here too, and Shay certainly, you know, we really appreciate all of you for supporting the channel. We're hitting, I think, 400 subscribers. We'd really love to hit 1,000 subscribers this year, so that way hopefully we can pay people to edit our videos so we can make more content for you. But thank you for those of you who stayed with us and keep supporting us and keep watching the videos. You know, your comments and likes mean the world to us, and it really helps motivate us. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say watch very soon, because we're gonna have a lot of surprises on this show for the Golden Meeples.
Meeples.
So we got a lot of people in the industry who partook this year, and we're just hoping to keep making it bigger every year. So with that, Deon, anything you want to say as we wrap up here?
I am golden meeple.
You're ready to die.
I'm ready to go back to bed.
Yeah. All right. We'll send you back to your cave, sir. Let the bear get some rest. So with that said, you know, we'll wrap up GAMA 2025, awesome event. And don't forget, champions, never stop playing.